Hello again, guys, and welcome to the second video. So hopefully you didn't have a lot of trouble with the assignment number one. But it was quite easy. Nevertheless, as I mentioned before, I am going to revise them one by one, make the comments that are pertinent in each case, and we will just let's say adjust if necessary. Any further question, let me know. So, as I announced in the previous video, I am going to discuss right now with you the difference between topic sentence and main idea. Yes, so remember that in the previous video we were dealing with the topic sentence mostly, a sentence that is very general, that anticipates the content um, of the paragraph, that well has all these different connotations, right? So we're going to try to differentiate between one and the other, right? So let's go please to the slide number 8, and you will find the first definition. It says topic sentence is a literal sentence in the paragraph. It means it must be literally word by word in the paragraph, must be written in there. It is somehow part of the paragraph. So for example, when you did the exercise of locating the topic sentence, um, well, you could underline or copy and paste, right? And that was the literal topic sentence, no? So for example, here we have one let's say one way to show that, no? There is a sentence over here that says, to be an effective CEO, CEO means Chief Executive Officers, that is like the boss, or the person with most, with, that has the most authority in one company, requires certain characteristics. One more time. To be an effective CEO requires certain characteristics. So that is part of a sentence. It is written in there. Yeah? You only have to locate it, to find it. To be an effective CEO requires certain characteristics. Imagine that the rest of the paragraph says something. First of all, you're required to be flexible. Second, it is important to be a people person, somebody who's friendly. And it is also important to have authority without being abusive. In conclusion, it is very important to have different characteristics to be a CEO. So you see, I just made up a paragraph from the top of my mind, but the most important part was at the beginning. Yes, and that is why that was the topic sentence. Now, what is the difference with the main idea? Yeah, let's take a look at the definition in here. It says it summarizes the whole point of the paragraph. It is not literally contained in the paragraph. You need to extract it and communicate it with your own words. Yes, it can extract elements from other parts of the paragraph, like the topic sentence, supporting sentences, and conclusion, right? So one more time, the main idea is, well, just that, uh, what you understand using your own words. Yes, your own words, from what the paragraph is about, right? Basically, that's like the main difference. So if I want to paraphrase, meaning say it in my own words, so I am trying to look for the main idea. For example, the second one, if I want to paraphrase this topic sentence that was, to be an effective CEO requires characteristics, I have an example here that says the text is about the features required to be a good manager, right? So hopefully the difference is fine. Also, let me try to do this. Let me look for a book. Okay, I have this random book that I picked from my library, that it's called Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. I'm going to read the first paragraph, okay, that I have over here. It says, Lolita, light of my life, fire of my loins, my sin, my soul, Lolita. The tip of the tongue taking a trip of 3 steps down the palate to tap a 3 on the T. Lolita. She was low, playing low in the morning, standing at 4 feet 10 in one sock. She was Lola in slacks. She was Dolly at school. She was Dolores in the dotted line. But in my arms, she was always Lolita. So this is quite different, right? Because previously we were talking about sort of academic text, right? But this is a novel. Uh, this is a narrative one, right? So if I want to take one sentence that summarizes the whole paragraph, that will be the topic sentence, right? So let's try with the first one. Yes, the first one, I reread it one more time. It says, Lolita, light of my life, fire of my loins, right? Can that be the topic sentence? Sure, it can be, because later on it says my scene, my soul, Lolita, and starts describing and doing different things, and then in the end it says, but in my arms she was always Lolita. So what we can say is that this guy summarizes like the whole intention of the paragraph in the first one. Lolita, light of my life, like somebody that illuminates my life. Fire of my loins, somebody that provokes me passion, right? Let's say some sort of an erotic impulse. That is what he mentions in the rest of the paragraph. So sure, the first line, Lolita, light of my life, fire of my loins, is something that summarizes very well. So that will be the topic sentence, right? But then what is the main idea? Yeah, remember that the main idea is something that you must paraphrase, that you must say in your own words, and that must summarize the whole thing. Yeah, so I can say from the top of my mind that the main idea is that there is somebody, presumably a guy, who is really in love with somebody who's called Lolita. Yes, that he really likes her. I don't know anything else. That is just the beginning of the book, so by now we don't know any other implication, but that's it. So you see the difference between the topic sentence that is literally written over here in the book, and the main idea, that it's something that you have to extract. Okay, so this takes us to our second assignment. Yes, that is going to be quite easy as well. Yes, if you can go to the slide number 9, please. And you are going to do two things. There is a paragraph about war. Yes, so basically what you're going to do is to first of all identify the topic sentence. So to identify the topic sentence, you should by now know that you simply have to underline or cut and paste or subtract it, because it's literally over there into this very big body of text that again I made it intentionally big because normally paragraphs are much shorter. So you're just going to select that one and put it in the assignment, and then you have to mention the main idea. Remember that you cannot cut and paste the main idea. You have to read the whole paragraph and give me in one sentence, more or less, a little summary in your own words, using your own words, of what is the paragraph about. So it means that if you do it correctly, the topic sentence must be exactly the same for everybody, but the main idea must be slightly different, right? Because you're supposed to do it in your own words. Okay, so that is what we have for the second assignment. Okay, so before concluding this video, I would like to take a look at some questions that we have in the other slides. Questions and answers, right? So take a look at the number 10, right? So here we have some situations. Please analyze them. The first one, it says, your composition instructor has told you that when you and she meet to discuss your paper on caffeine addiction, so the student is writing a paper on caffeine addiction, you need to be able to identify the main idea you had in mind for each paragraph and show her to each one relates to the general thesis or point of the paper. Okay, so imagine the teacher is telling you, something that you must do is like to tell me what is the main idea of each paragraph and how that main idea is related to the main thesis. Imagine that the main thesis is caffeine addiction is promoted by people who work in offices. I'm just inventing that, right? So each paragraph is supposed to have a main idea that supports that thesis or that affirmation that the coffee addiction is produced by people working in the office, right? So she tells you that. And here comes the question. It says, does that mean that every paragraph you wrote has a problem with its topic sentences? So if she's asking you to modify that or to clarify that, it's possible that there is a problem with the topic sentence? The answer is in the next slide, but before you go over there, think about it. Do you think so? Maybe? Dora moment? Well, let's go to the answer. No, not necessarily. So what does it mean? It means, though, that you should be able to tell her the point each paragraph is supposed to communicate to the reader and explain how each of those individual points connects to or further develops your thesis or controlling main idea. So, summarizing, your topic sentences may be okay, yes, but what she needs is that you paraphrase or that you tell in your own words or that you rephrase or that you modify to orally tell her like what is the point of each particular paragraph. Okay, so when somebody tells you that there's a problem with your main idea or that you need to make them more concrete, so it's basically that you need to reinterpret that and tell her or him orally what is happening. Okay, then again we have in the slide number 12 another different question. Yes, one more time, let's take a look at the question, try to answer it yourself, and later on we go to the answer. It says, your composition instructor tells you that every paragraph in the final draft of your paper should include a one-sentence statement of the main idea. Are you being asked to make sure all the paragraphs in your paper include a topic sentence? Please explain. Yes, so it says, again, same situation, you have a meeting with your composition instructor, and she tells you, in every beginning of the paragraph you're supposed to have a sentence that summarizes the main idea of the paragraph, right? So is she telling you that you're required to include topic sentences? Yes or no? Think about it. And the answer is yes. So if she is telling you that it is necessary to include this topic sentence, well, this one sentence statement and rephrasing of your main idea, of course she's asking you for topic sentences. Okay, so hopefully it is clear for you. It is somehow understandable, the difference between the topic sentence, that is the literal sentence that you can find in the text, and the main idea, that is a rephrasing, a summary, somehow general explanation that you do it in your own words, that you rephrase it and that you change it, and that is not necessary in the paragraph in order to communicate the main idea. Okay, so that's it for this video. In the next video we are going to be talking about the next component of the paragraph, that is the supporting sentence. Okay, but that will be in the next video. Thank you very much. Hugs.